you don't want your name on a product and then it just kind of fall apart.
Purple and white, it just pops.
Why do you think that is okay in slow pitch and we kind of just are used to it, and in baseball it's like, cut that out? Gloves, what do you recommend for breaking in glove?
2024 honey drips for Ryan Honeycutt for this year. His batting gloves.
Okay, first question of the day. Your most experimental product right now is a clear glove. Do you have it with you?
Actually we do. It's a PVC plastic mitt, kind of like the Lindor glove. It's kind of, well, don't want to say a novelty. I mean, it's got leather palm on it, but I think it's something more for looks. Probably play a couple games with it. I wouldn't say it would be your gamer, but if you wanted to get noticed and play a couple games here and there with it, I think it'd be just fine. But it's kind of untested and unproved, and I just kind of want to be the first one to have one.
Yeah. No, it's cool.
Available, so.
I like the design. It looks like there's red stitching and some details like that.
Yeah, it's the only place I think I screwed up is I had them put a plastic web. It's got some red stitching. I probably would have, which I can always replace it. I can have them make me a leather web, but I was just more, I saw it. They showed me a picture of it, and I'm like, hey, I gotta have it. Send it, make it like that. Probably go on my shelf, with trophy case or whatever, and unless somebody's looking for it, I got one.
There you go. All right, so today, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the All Sports Best podcast. I'm Trey Gonzalez, and we're here with Rene Verdusco of West Texas Gloveman. And out of Seminole, Texas, he has been doing some really great things with his brand and becoming a name that is very recognizable in this area in different sports. So let's go ahead and get into that. Gloves, what do you recommend for breaking in gloves? Like, what would you say is the tried and true method that you would say every time I'd recommend this first overall?
First thing is I would recommend is play catch. That's probably the best. If you already have a gamer, and you're trying to break in this new one, I would say every time you get a chance to warm up with it, and just until you feel comfortable with taking it out there on the field. That's what I do. There's also some steam. Some people do steam, some people do the oven. I don't really recommend the oven, but everybody has their own little ideas of how to break in a glove. But I think that would be my go-to, is just practice, just play catch with it.
Sure, absolutely. And then so you talk about the oven not being a method that you truly recommend, but I know that there's different reasons for that, right? That you talk about like fibers and things on a scale we don't see, but eventually we'll notice, right? So what does a stove, or I'm sorry, an oven do?
So I think on the oven, you can't really control the temperature. If you get it too hot, it's going to make the fibers break down in that leather, and it's going to get brittle. Also, depending on the color of the glove, you can discolor the glove. It'll really break it in, but it's one of those things where if you go 2 minutes too long, there's no coming back. You can't get that stiffness back. So you just got to be really careful when you're doing it. Some people do it and it's just fine for them, but it's not something that I would suggest.
Sure, absolutely. All right, so when it comes to gloves, we all have our different preferences, right? When I played, I was a all black glove kind of guy. The webs that I had to use, I was a pitcher, so they were more closed in webs. But what I've seen more and more is the popularity of webs that are open, like the trapeze type of webs or things like that. What are the webs that right now are popping the most?
Right now, I think we have one that's called the Star Web, and it looks kind of like a modified T-trap, and it's got a little design on it, like a star design on that. That's really popular. The H web is really nice.
Hmm.
There's a lot of people who like that one. I web is probably my favorite. Play a lot of infield, and so that's kind of the one that I always go to. I always seem to like that I web for some reason.
Sure. Okay. And then when it comes to some of these different things, because I want to talk about some of the materials that you're using, the colors, the craziness that can eventually get into your glove if you really want to. What would you say about going outside of the browns and the blacks and the tans of these kinds of gloves? Does it deteriorate faster? Is it something that isn't as quality or not?
For the most part, some of these the new leather they have, they're going to be tanned or dyed. So I believe some of the pinks, the hot pinks, hot orange, those kind of ones, those seem to chip a little bit more.
Mm.
Black browns shouldn't have any problem with them. Just regular old steer hide, rawhide looking brown is probably, the best. But the materials that they're coming out now, everything so far has been great. Other than your normal wear and tear, throwing it in the dirt, scraping it up, everything seems to be holding up pretty well right now.
Okay. And you don't really put these materials or these colors on the palm, right? All of that stuff is kind of for show on the back end, or do you do some stuff on the palm?
Yeah, so what we'll do is we'll have like some snake skin, and it's just a faux, design, but it's got leather backing underneath it. So one glove that's real popular to come out, we have a serape pattern, and that one is pretty good. But we will not put that. We've put it on a web a few times, but on the back of the web, and it's kind of reinforced. But generally, all your palms are going to be a solid color, blacks, browns, greens, whatever solid pure leather that we have. That's what we're going to put in your palms. We've had some people ask for snake skin, but we told them it's not even an option.
Really? Okay. Because you just don't
Yeah.
want it. You don't want your name on a product, and then it just kind of fall apart. And it's like, well, WTGM, totally.
Exactly, and at the end of the day, the thing that I like about it is I use my own product. So
Mm.
if it's something that I don't like, I wouldn't have it. And that's the good thing about our brand is, we got people out there that are using our gloves in the game and our products. And I tell them, hey, if there's something you don't like, you tell me, and we won't carry it. It may look cool,
Yeah.
but if it doesn't work, it's got to be practical. It's got to work. And if it doesn't, we'll do something else.
Sure.
So
So I wanted to know what are some of the crazier designs that you're able to put on some of these gloves, because we talk about the different colors. A lot of people like colors, right? It can match their uniforms.
yes,
It really looks cool. But what are some of the crazier things that you've seen? You said serape. Is there anything else?
the serape. There's a tie dye. We
Mm.
just came out with the new one that's got all of the autism puzzle pieces on. Before, when you were doing an autism glove, you had to mix your regular leather with, like a yellow leather on one finger, a blue leather, a light blue leather on
Oh,
another, and that's kind of how we used to make these autism awareness gloves. Well, now they've come out with one that's got all the puzzle pieces, so that's really nice. And if you break that up with a nice solid color, it looks great. Cheetah print has been really big in
wow.
2023. We got an elephant skin, kind of like the Jordan, their pattern. But there's all kinds of colors, just black snake skin, gold snake skin. We've actually got I got about 9 or 10 more new colors that for 2024 that we're gonna unveil.
That's crazy. Okay. And yeah, I did notice the gold. That was one of the ones that stuck out to me. It's almost like a dusted or like a glittery style. It's very bright off of a light, right? So
Yeah.
Does that, and those are still good materials?
They're good materials. They will wear down, with some use. So that's why they're always good for the back of the hand.
Mm,
We won't try to use that leather. That leather will never be inside the palm. So, you're catching the ball all the time. You're obviously going to wear that leather out, and so we won't put it inside the palms. We want something that's going to be hardy and that's going to last.
sure. Can you speak to what you're wearing right now? You got some gear, right? So we've got two different logos, as a matter of fact. So we get the old and the new both at the same time. Can you tell me,
That's
about the logo swap?
So we just kind of, this is our old logo, and we've had it for, I would say, the last 5, 6 years. And then we decided to do something a little bit different. We're pushing the rep WTGM in 2024. And it's kind of just speaks to trying to get that brand and just so it rolls off the tongue real easy. Hey, WTGM, you
Yeah.
know, uh, trying to so we can sell in New Mexico, we can sell in Arizona. We got reps in Arizona, we got reps in New Mexico, we got reps here in Texas. Um, those are the probably the three states that we focus on. We have a pipeline going right through here, and being a native of Arizona, you know, I go back. I was there in Christmas, so I'm 30 miles from Hobbs, New Mexico. So, we play in New Mexico, and,
Yeah.
everybody that plays around this area, they're either playing in Texas or they're playing in New Mexico. So we all interact. So I didn't want it to be just one whole brand that's just, for West Texas. I want it to be, out there synonymous with the, ASP and some of these other big brands that are out there.
So
So that's kind of where we changed it.
are we trying to move into we know what UPS stands for, but we don't really think about it. Is it kind of like that
Mhm.
where it's like, oh, we say UPS, you know what I'm talking about? We don't
Yeah,
usually say whatever UPS stands for, United
yeah,
Parcel Service or something like that?
yep,
Yeah. Okay.
exactly, exactly. Yeah, we want it to just like when you see it, it's like, hey, WTGM, there you go. Just
Mm.
rolls right off the tongue, and that's kind of what we want it. We don't want to have to explain the whole thing, but you get it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Okay, so you've gained quite a following on your brand and on your products, and can you speak to how you made that possible? Like you have to start somewhere. So when you started, why did you start, and then how did you build?
Well, I think for one, uh, in the jobs that I had before, I there was a lot of times where it took away from playing, and I didn't play softball for probably a good 8 years. And when I
Mm,
got to Sim, I had a chance to start my own brand and started off through Arizona Gloveman, and I was going to start my own brand and start selling gloves as a hobby. And some of the guys I met here, in Seminole, the notorious guys, we were out one day, and I'm like, hey, I'm like, I could still hit, I think I
yeah.
could. I got a little bit of gas left in the tank. And so, I fell back in love with it. I realized I was missing it. And, there was nothing really around here at the time, as far as custom gloves and stuff. So I was like, hey, why not? Give it a shot. And
Mm,
so that's what I did in trying to grow it. And, you know, it just kind of snowballed. And then, you meet a guy like Ryan Honeycutt, and so that kind of helps. And him and Joey Aguilar and those guys really helped us, help the brand spread, and they helped me take it to a level I never really thought it would go.
sure.
It just got to the point, it snowballed, and we were like, wow, this is kind of turned into a full-time job type of deal. It's not a hobby no more. I mean, it's still a hobby, but it's a really big hobby.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I love to speak on Honeycutt and Aguilar, both super good dudes. So that doesn't hurt your brand, right? It's definitely something that spreads the word. And they're very good at endorsing stuff, right? They're gonna wear your stuff. They're gonna say your name, those types of things. And I've heard it because we had them both on the podcast and they both mentioned you by name and the brand. So that's really cool. But how did you get in contact with them? I know it's within reach, we're not very far from Carlsbad, but like what caught your eye about these guys?
I started following the online, kind of seeing who was out there, and we had a good little hold, in Seminole and right around our area, and a few people was like, hey, you could take this a little bit bigger, and
Mm.
it's kind of seeing what other brands were doing, and they're like, what you need to do is you need to get you an ambassador, somebody who's on the map or who's getting there, and at the time. Ryan was just barely starting. He was playing a little bit of softball,
Yeah.
playing with the Mestizo guys. And what comes to mind is the video of him putting a ball through a window in Carlsbad in league, and that started circulating. And a mutual friend of ours, Dalton Click, there in Carlsbad, we played together, and he's like, "Hey, I know Ryan. We go BP. I can put you in touch." And so we always laugh about it. We sat down and had chicken wings and Buffalo Wild Wings in Hobbs, New Mexico, and
Mm.
just talked for about a good hour. And he was starting to come up, and nobody knew who I was, other around here, and we just kind of uh, built something and mutual respect, and like, hey, let's make this work and see what we can do. And thank God, even to this day, you talk about building a business relationship. I don't even feel that way anymore. I'm just happy that I can call them friends, and
Yeah.
and they've always stuck by me, and I've always stuck by them, and I'll do whatever it is to help those guys. As long as they've always helped me out, and that's what it's all about, really.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And you are actually a big part of something that they do that they represent the state with. It's called the Challenge Cup. And last year was the first year that New Mexico participated. It's hosted in Florida. Can you speak on that? Because I know you sponsored and you made some insane jerseys for that, uniforms. What went into all that is the Challenge Cup and kind of starting out New Mexico on it?
Man, that was really huge for us. I was kind of on the outside looking in. I know Ryan and Joey had played. They had to play with Colorado because they could merge with the major team, and I didn't really even know what was going on. They were having discussions and talking with Sam Samdahl, who was going to lead the team, and building up to it. Probably I'd say maybe August, September. Joey's like, hey, here's what we're gonna do. Would you want to help? Would you want to sponsor? And it'd be pretty good for you and the brand. And I was like, yeah, whatever you guys need, I can do the uniforms, I can do the hats. That'll be my contribution. What else can I do to help? And thank God I got have the services of. I say he's probably one of the top five in the United States right now, and an artist, and Michael Flores he's out of Buckeye, Arizona, and he's been doing work for us for the last 5 years, 5 6 years, and the guy's just phenomenal. I mean, I'll send him something, and we fight like crazy because I don't give him enough information, and I'll tell him like, "Hey, man, here's what we want to do. Here's a color scheme," and he just comes back and shoots back some great ideas, and it was everything just hit. It just all meshed together, and being able, they asked me to be a part of the coaching staff, and so that Florida trip, that was man, that was a trip for I'll never forget. It was great. It was a great thing that we accomplished.
Do we have any insight on? I think you might have posted a little bit on what is coming next, right? You have the new uniforms, and as a matter of fact, I did see them, and they are legit. So, what went into trying to match or top what you did last year? It's got to be tough.
Yeah. And I'll just, we kind of talked amongst in the coaches group, and like, okay. And we all knew what are we going to do to top that? Because we
Yeah.
got a lot of love. got a lot of talk, and so everyone looked at me, and then I did what I do, and I go to Michael, and I'm like, hey, this is yours. You're the he's got a phrase that he always tells me. It don't matter to me. I'm the artist. You tell me what to do. So I'm like, okay, you're the artist. Here you go.
Yeah.
Make us something. We need to we need to be on par or even better than what we had last year.
Mm.
So he's always stepped up and been able to come up with some great ideas. So now we got to hopefully looking at year 3 after this year. So that's
Yeah.
another challenge.
What do you think if you could put a little bit of a prediction together? What are we going to place this year at the Challenge Cup for New Mexico?
Man, I don't even know if I can. I don't even know if I want to speak on that. It's
You don't
just
want to jinx anything.
yeah, you don't want to jinx it. I mean, all I'm going to say is last year we were probably, I think there was 18 or 19 teams, and I think we were predicted on some of the other podcasts to maybe be 18 or 19,
Wow.
and I don't want to say we finished 5. There's some tough teams out there. We're not going to sneak up on anybody. The good thing is the guys that we have that played last year, they had some of these guys had really great years. 2023 in conference. Anthony Acevedo, um, Ryan, to name a few. So we're going to be, I think the guys know that. Hey, they know who we are now. So
Sure.
we're gonna work. We're gonna have to work hard because last year nobody expected anything. We just went in there, have fun, stay loose. This year we're gonna have to put some work in.
No, absolutely. Okay, so you are not only in slow pitch, you're in fast pitch, you're in baseball, you're in golf, even, and maybe a couple of other sports, and even in women's apparel, right? So, what are all
Correct.
the things that you guys cover, and maybe what is some sports you're looking at and thinking maybe we can, get into that a little bit?
Well, pretty much everything we've got into is probably just because we're a sporting family. Like we love to. My son plays basketball. He plays golf. So I love to play golf. So it's just you're out there golfing. You got an idea. I'm like, man, this would be a good golf. We can start a golf brand.
Yeah,
Let's try this and let's try that. And so everything's kind of it kind of morphs into something else. And we had a group here, and I think it was COVID. COVID screwed a lot of things up, and
yeah,
it shut down softball. But what it did is it brought out all the cornhole people,
mm,
and so all these cornhole leagues started. And then it was like, hey, well, you make softball jerseys, can you make cornhole jerseys? So we made a cornhole logo, and kind of like that. We've done a disc golf logo.
wow,
uh, so I mean, so just about anything. I have a fishing. We even have a fishing logo that we do. So if anybody likes to fish, so we've done the logo. We've done the golf logo in a Texas flag, and we also done it in the New Mexico flag. So just depending on the interest, we can cover just about anything. Checkers if you want, chess.
ooh, get a nice polo going for one of those.
Oh yeah, we got some really nice golf polos that we
Oh,
made with some holes and things like that. So those are probably my two biggest: softball, softball, baseball, and then golf is kind of what we've really done the most work in.
sure.
Done some good, some really nice cornhole jerseys too as well for some local people here in Seminole. So just whatever you want, we can do. We got the team that can get it done.
Do you have any sneak peeks on anything that's coming up soon, or maybe a release that's been recent?
I believe I sent you. We just released 2024 honey drips for Ryan Honeycutt for this year.
Mm-hmm.
His batting gloves. This morning we also did some for kid out of Portales, Milo Lovato. He's one of our reps, and he had some gloves that he wanted. That's got a little message on there, and then. I always joke with him, with the whole Emilio Night of the Roxbury. So I went and designed some that's got Will Ferrell's face on there and
Nice.
Emilio across it, and that was kind of a novelty. But um, there's people that want them, so people are asking them about it. So um, hey, if that's what he likes and that's what they want, we'll keep doing it. Other than that, right now until after we get done with Challenge Cup, that's a big undertaking right now. So usually February when we get done with the Challenge Cup, we'll start releasing some new stuff too.
Sure. And we've got a website coming out soon that's in the works.
Website soon. It's still in progress right now. I gotta quit procrastinating a little bit and get that done. So there's always something going on. So I kind of got to dedicate my time to my job and then to WTGM and family and all that stuff. So always on the go.
Is there anything in the future, maybe even 5 years out from now, that you think maybe we should check out a brick and mortar or something like that? Has that ever crossed your mind? Let's open a store.
We have a lot of personal friends here in Seminole that have businesses, and there's a building over here. What do you think
Mm,
about that? We've thought about it. We've done the math. Right now, it's not in the books for us. I mean, uh, I don't want to say I'm the smartest guy in the world, but thank God I've made some good decisions, business decisions on the business, and trying to keep things going. And uh, one day,
yeah.
if in five, if that's the case, and the numbers look right, I think we do it. But for now, it's the garage.
Yeah. I
It's the
mean,
garage.
hey, it's working.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you do what you got to do, and so far it's been good.
Yeah, no, for sure. All right. So, what is some of the random? So, we talked about random glove designs and some of the things that you've added cheetah print, leopard print, those types of things. Is there anything that somebody's come to you with for clothing? Like a certain design that was a little bit risky, or, I know that you make leggings and some cool stuff like that. Is there anything that somebody's like said, can you make this? And you're like, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, we've had a few. For the most part, we try to. I think a while back there was some that was kind of, you didn't really want. Are you sure you want to wear that out in public? And
Yeah.
we kind of stayed away from that. We kind of have a little fun with it. We've done some really cool stuff. But I just kind of look at it, and at the end of the day, when I see the designs, and I'm like, that's got my name on it.
Mm.
That's got our name, got my family's name. My wife's very much involved, so it reflects us. So if it's something that's going to go out there and be hurtful or demeaning, or just downright awful, I don't want to be associated with it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how we go about when we select reps. When we have people, I'm looking for quality people, good people that you would have over your house and sit down and have dinner with, because at the end of the day, that's what it's like. That's what it's all about. It's not, to me, like I said, it's not really business, it's a hobby.
Mm.
And these are people I want to sit down, I want to know about their spouse, I want to know about their kids. I want to sit down, have dinner with them, visit with them, and laugh, have a good time. And so I'm very selective on when we do something like that, because it reflects us. What
Yeah,
if
no, for
something
sure.
would happen to us.
Yeah. All right. So I wanted to ask you, because you do these kinds of things all the time. You're looking at color combinations, designs, all that stuff. What are some of the most popular color combinations for gloves? And then what is your favorite color combination for uniforms if you had to pick one?
As far as gloves go, it's changing. It changes. It kind of runs in cycles. The serape was real popular.
Hmm.
Um, we have a leather that is called knurling, and it looks like tooled leather. With like paisley designs, and that's become real popular. Um, the brown, there's a black, there's some new colors we just added on that. And so that's becoming really, really popular. One of my favorites that I've been seeing are these purple and white. Now, the thing about a white glove is beautiful when it first, comes out, and after a while, and you play with it, and it gets dirty, and it will get
Yeah.
dirty. Um, but man, some of these gloves right out of the wrapper, and I'll take pictures with them and I post them. I send them when I get all my gloves in to ship out. And the purple and white, it just pops.
Yeah.
Um, that's one of my favorites. Color combos, I would probably say, I kind of like that Vice look, but probably, being from Arizona, I fell in love with the Diamondbacks uniforms after the World Series this last year, and I think they're changing it up a little bit, but man, those some of that red, I can't Sedona red, I think they call it.
Hmm.
That I have yet to do a color combo like that, but we'll probably do something like that real soon.
See, one of the things that comes to mind when I think of color combos, and I don't know how much you get for requests on this, but it's the Athletics green and yellow. Absolutely love the way they contrast. It's beautiful to me. So that one was probably one of my tops, and then the old school D-backs was my one of my tops as well. The purple and teal, that was just beautiful together. So do
Yeah,
you guys
yeah,
probably get a lot of that, right? Do you guys do pinstripes and stuff like that on the sublimated prints?
yeah. We've done a lot of with pinstripes. I think it's kind of a I think when Michael, we kind of stay away from the pinstripes. We'll put them on there if you like,
Hmm.
but when he's designing, he kind of stays away from those pinstripes because it kind of can take away from what he's trying to create. So we have done some pinstripes in the past. I'm not a big pinstripe fan. I don't
Mm.
myself, but I like to have some good quality art, some good designs that are fading in, something with the shadow on it that's going to look good. But you're right on the old Athletics. Those are just some classic colors right there that I would not be opposed to doing those. And and the way these color combos are going now, it's kind of hard. But for some of us older people, that those old school colors, those are one of my favorite colors too.
Yeah.
Just the uniform.
Yeah, we see a lot of the stuff that's old school and so I wanted to ask you this because I have an opinion on it personally, but when you go to slow pitch, there's like a lot more freedom. You feel like you can wear black pants, you can wear green pants and stuff like that, and it's kind of just par for the course, but when you go over to baseball, you throw on something like that, to me it just doesn't work. Why do you think that is okay in slow pitch and we kind of just are used to it, and in baseball it's like cut that out?
I still think, in baseball, you still have that old mentality, like act like you've been there before. You go, you play the game right, the way you were taught, the way your dad was taught, and it's kind of more a respect thing. So I have noticed that there's some of the youth stuff we've done have been a little bit more classic look,
Yeah.
and normally on some of these travel teams, you'll get, three different jerseys, and you're always going to have two that are more of the classic look. And then they say, well, we'll give the kids one good, something flashy, for them. And carrying over to softball, I think that's you're there to have fun. You're paying to play. And it's kind of like, hey, we're going to stand out. If we're if we can't beat these guys 20-0, we're going to have fun. If we're going to get our butts beat 20-0, we might as well have fun and look good while we're doing it. So
Okay.
kind of kind of how that goes hand in hand. It's not so serious.
Yeah, because I mean, I know we talked about the Diamondbacks a couple times already, but they came out with like some dark gray pants and they matched the tops. And those
Mhm.
just didn't fly. Those were brutal, right? And they got roasted for that. But I've seen, in college baseball, you'll see Louisville, the black on black. It's okay in
Mhm.
slow pitch, but to me, I just don't care for it. And then you see, some other teams that do. I think the most risky that you can find in baseball right now in pro baseball is the old school powder blues with the pants that are powder blue as well. So, and those look
Yeah.
pretty cool, but it's just like there's a line that you can't get too far away from white in the pants area. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Right. Right. No, and you're exactly right. You don't see a whole lot of flashy things. You may see a darker top, but they're going to be, with a white pair of pants and that same color piping on the side.
Yeah.
So yeah, they still kind of stick to their they're not really doing a whole lot of that color rush like the NFL is.
Mm.
But it'd be cool to see, like with what the Rangers did with their uniforms this past year. I dug them. I thought they were pretty nice. So um, it just
Oh, I know what
everybody's
you're
got
talking about. You're talking about the
yeah.
Navy on Navy?
Well, yeah, and then with I think they call it the city
The City
design or something like
Connect?
that. City Connect. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty neat. I like those.
I will say some of the worst that I've ever seen, and I'll have you go and check these out, is the Cuba World Baseball Classic uniforms. I don't know if you saw them. They had the red pants, man, and it was ugly, but I don't know. Some people were digging them.
Yeah, yeah, could be like the old Astros too.
Yeah.
Or yeah, back in the '70s and early '80s, that had that multicolored, ribbons going all the way around it. So they come a long way. So some of these newer colors, everybody's switching to. There some of them are good, but yeah, anything goes good with white. Put it on white or black, and it'll look good.
Yeah, absolutely. Renee, thank you so much for getting on the show. We do appreciate it. And before we go, can you tell us where can we order stuff? Where will we find you and how do we do it?
Right now, probably the best thing until we get the website up is on Facebook, and you can just get us on Facebook Messenger, and we're WTGM Gloveman. Also, you can reach out to some of our reps. We have some in Albuquerque, Carlsbad, Arizona, Lubbock. So we're around, but you can go to our Facebook, shoot us a message, and me and my wife will get back to you as soon as we can and see if we can help you out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, man. I really do appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.